Welcome back. You're watching the morning news here on CNN News 18. We're moving now to developments taking place in the UK. Britain's longest-serving monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, will be honoured with a full state funeral at Westminster Abbey today. It'll begin at about 3:30 p.m. She's expected to be laid, as we were just going to tell you in a little bit, but it's going to last for an hour. In accordance with the wishes of King Charles III, the public mourning period will continue across the country for 1 week after the funeral. Now, Indian President Draupadi Murmu is in London to attend the state funeral. She signed a condolence book yesterday. Other world leaders have also arrived in London. The line to pay respects for the monarch lying in state continued for more than 5 miles along the southern bank of the River Thames. Meanwhile, Prince William and Prince Harry both have turned up in ceremonial military uniforms. They've held a vigil outside the Queen's coffin at Westminster Hall yesterday. My colleague Sanjay Suri is on the ground in the UK. He's been bringing us each of these updates. This is his latest update on the preparations that are going on right now for the Queen's funeral. Take a look.
So this is the final day, the day of the funeral, the day to say goodbye to Queen Elizabeth II. We've had a record outpouring of affection for her. People have queued day and night to file by her body lying in state in the Houses of Parliament. People waited typically 12 to 14 hours just to get 1 minute to walk by the coffin, a measure indeed of the affection and the reverence for the late Queen. Now we will have a very carefully calibrated last ceremony. We will have the Queen brought from Westminster Hall to Westminster Abbey right behind here. And in terms of Indian time, that will begin at 3:14 p.m. The coffin will be brought out at 3:14 p.m. It will rest on a state gun carriage that will be pulled by members from the Royal Navy. Then it will be brought to Westminster Abbey right behind, and that is due at 3:22 p.m. IST. A funeral service will begin at 3:30 p.m. IST, and that is due to last almost an hour. And of course, there will be so many heads of state and government attending the service, among about 2,000 people expected in Westminster Hall behind here. That service will conclude with a 2-minute silence, the playing of the national anthem, and then the playing of the lament. Then on, we will have the funeral procession starting from Westminster Abbey here, passing Parliament Square, then along Whitehall, where the offices of the government are located, such as the Ministry of Defence and the Foreign Office, then along the Mall in the direction of Buckingham Palace, and then behind there onto Constitution Hill. There the procession ends. From there on, the coffin will be taken in a hearse to Windsor Castle, and the ceremony in Windsor Castle will follow that. In London, we will have a procession in Windsor, then we will have a service, a committal service, and then finally at 7:30 p.m. local time, which would be midnight Indian time, a private service followed by the burial. This will be the last journey, and it has been planned to be a last journey for people to remember around the world and for people to remember for generations.